evening. Good evening to my first show of the year. Welcome to Kiki's Chat Show. Today is Wednesday, the 6th of January, 2021. And today, amidst all the mayhem, we're going to muse about what our plans are for the year. We're going to talk about how we are going to project ourselves into the year. And we are going to talk about a hope for the year. My question really is, are we hopeful, or should we be hopeful at all in view of the things that are unfolding? Now, right now, in Capitol Hill in America, there is such mayhem. There are people breaking windows, trying to get into the Senate, trying to do all sorts of things which are dangerous to people in work. It is daytime in America at the moment in Capitol Hill. I don't even know how to express all of this because it just puts what we're going to talk about into perspective in a totally strange way. Is this what the future holds for us, my people? Is this what we're going to experience now in 2021? After everything that has happened in 2020, is this what we're going to see now? And if it is, this is quite scary. Apart from the fact that I'm in the UK, and us in the UK are being told that the virus is surging in such a way that swathes of people are in hospital, people are dying, people are being infected. And so when you think about it in truth, can anyone go into Sainsbury's? Can you go into the shops and shop? What is happening to us? Everything is so scary now. And everything is getting out of hand. How do we deal and cope with what is happening? I am at a loss for words because all that is happening in America now is creating a situation that you don't even know what's going to happen next. It is scary. It is strange. How did we get to this point? Anyway, I want to wish you all a happy new year. And to say happy new year is even strange, but I'm wishing you happy new year. One of the things I wanted to ask if anyone is out there is, at which point do you stop saying happy new year? Because you wish everyone a happy new year from the 1st of January. And it takes you into, everyone you meet that you haven't met before, you say, oh, happy new year. Oh, happy new year. How are you doing? And that sort of thing. But if you've met them already in the new year, you don't have to say it. Now, do you stop on the 30th of January saying happy new year? If anyone knows, you can say it. You can tell me. But I keep saying it until I just get tired and then stop. I guess with everything in life, with everything that ends, there's a new beginning. Now, I didn't expect what happened today in the news. Whatever happened to America affects all of us. So I didn't expect that today. So while I was thinking of what we were going to talk about, I was going to say, well, with everything that ends, we've ended 2020. We're now entering into 2021. We're entering it with hope. We're entering it with open eyes. We're entering it with new ideas because of what has befallen us. We're wondering what's happening to our children who go to school. I don't understand the argument about children going to school whilst everyone else should be shielding or in the house or not going to work, etc. We're on lockdown. This is for the people in the UK. But the point of the matter is, when people complain about their children not going to school when we're on lockdown and they want their children to go to school, do you not have a sense that there is a war out there? And this is a different sort of war. Okay, so there's no shooting or bombs or anything, but there is a war. We've got a war, a health war. Why do you think your children should go to school? Because they will come in with the virus. I'm not saying every child will, but some will. And is that wise? I mean, when there was a serious war with bombs and everything, nobody went to school. Children were underground or being taken into the country or all sorts of things. So if we have this health war, we all have to take our children and keep them in our homes. We have to keep them safe. That's what the whole thing is about. But anyway, okay. I don't know much, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But these are my thoughts. I think there's a war out there. If I had a child, school-going child, I will not send that child to school. We'll have to find other ways of studying. Now, if all the kids are not going to school, then they're not missing anything. When school starts again, then they will have the same education that everybody else is getting at the same stage that they were. I don't understand what's going on. It's a little bit confusing. Nobody's saying anything. So, okay. Now, while we're afraid of this mysterious COVID, and I'm saying it that we're all afraid, and in all our situations we're scared, and we're wondering what to do. Meanwhile, it's a new year. Everyone has a resolution of some sort. In this situation that we're in, we can't have resolutions. People always make these wild, expansive resolutions and they don't keep them. So let us say, or let us kind of decide to have goals instead. And all these goals that we're going to have are simple things that we can kind of change. For example, if you eat too much sugar, donuts, etc., you can decide that I'm going to cut down. As you cut down, you will realize that you're doing really well, and suddenly you won't miss the sugar anymore. So that's one. Keep in touch with family and friends. We're always complaining that we don't see people, we're busy rushing to work and all of that. Now we're working from home. We can have a routine. And so you can give yourself space and time to call a friend today, and tomorrow you call another friend, etc. You can do all sorts of things which would kind of make you feel better and make that friend feel better or family member or whatever. But it is you making the decision that I am going to do X and Y, and you will do it. I think it is easier that way. It wasn't a resolution, it was a goal last year. I do keep in touch with people. One of my goals also, which is still a work in progress, is to be patient and to listen to people. So if someone is talking, even though I disagree, I try to hold my tongue. It is not me, but I've learned it from people. And over the years, I am getting there. I think I'm getting there. So that's one thing. Another thing is to eat well. Now, something I want to share with you, especially, I mean, the major number of people who listen to me are mostly Africans. So I can suggest to you that if we decide to research our African foods, the food that we've grown up with, the food that our grandparents were eating, which were healthy. Trust me, they were really healthy. Now, I am not suggesting that you just blindly go and eat them. Research them, because every year the media brings out this superfood, this amazing superfood, and it's something that we were eating before. And then we stopped because it's not a fad or whatever. Look, all of these superfoods come from Africa. They're African foods. They're things which our grandparents were eating. They were healthy. They lived long lives. My grandmother died at the age of 98 or something. My great grandmother was over 100. I'm afraid for myself because I'm so into donuts and all of these things. And when I don't have a donut, I miss it. And I miss it with passion. Now, that is not good enough. And it is something that I'm trying very hard to work on as well. That's one of my goals. So, since I haven't been going to work and I'm working from home, I do not pass any shop that sells fresh smelling donuts to entice me to go in there and buy one as breakfast. So for me, these circumstances and situations are working for me. And I pray that it works for you as well. We have to find ways to help ourselves and be healthy. Now, another thing which is a goal for me is to treat myself once in a while. Now, if you are always eating healthy food or deciding that this is what you want to do, you could treat yourself once in a while. So instead of buying the donut, you could make some if you have the time, or order it. I don't know how you're going to work it out, but I have been wondering how I can get those lovely donuts into my house. Maybe I can order it by Uber Eats or something. But I think that we ought to be kind to ourselves, and we ought to treat ourselves to things that we don't normally do when we're being good. That sort of thing. Another thing that I think we should do is find hobbies, because as Africans we do not have much hobbies. Other people do, and everything we do is work orientated or something, so if it's exercise, you can do it at home. Go for a walk. I walk. That's my biggest exercise is walking. I go for a walk, and I say it all the time. That's what I can do. So I think with your exercises, do what suits your size, your figure, your breathing, whatever it is that you can, that is possible for you to do. Please do something so that it's not like you're stagnant or sitting all the time in front of the telly or in front of a computer, or try and do something that is good for you. I have a friend and she's watching now. She started slowly, and then she started running. And now she runs long distance, and she is a fit, healthy Lisa. It's you. I'm talking about you. Now, Lisa has done really well. Everybody who knows Lisa is very proud of her, because she started slowly and now she could run a marathon. She's been running 5 miles this day. I have another friend who does triathlons, and she does all sorts of things. So, and all of these people are in my age group, my age percentile. So please, if you can do that, do it. Now, one thing I will advise though is do not go outside and then start running at once. Maybe you can start by walking a little bit, skipping a little bit, running a little bit, and then jogging a little bit, and then slowly increase your pace, increase your speed, increase your time, increase, increase. So everything should be something that you start slow, and you will be amazed. If you are determined, you will be able to do it. Trust me. I know people who have done it. I've met humans who've done it, and I'm totally in awe. And that's how it should be. My other goal, which I want to share with you, is to be kind to yourself. You have to be kind to yourself. You have to think about yourself sometimes. Now, I always say this, that when you get on a plane and they're teaching you how to, in case there is an accident, take the oxygen, put it in, you have to put it on your face first before you start putting it on your child or whoever is got with you, etc., etc. You have to be kind to yourself. Now, women especially are always looking after other people, are always feeding people, are always taking care of people, are always considering people. And sometimes they do not look after themselves. They're not well. And twice this has happened to two people I know last year who one person was looking after her disabled child, and she was not well. She had all sorts of issues, but she was more concerned about the disabled child, and she's died. And her disabled child is alive. Now, who's going to look after that disabled child with all the love and care that a mother does? So, mothers, look after yourself so that you can look after your charges. It is very important. Very important. Now, look also after the people around you. So it's good. If you want to go for a run or a walk or a jog or whatever it is, and you've got other people in your house, go with them. Do things for yourself, but involve the people, your immediate people around you. Share the goodness, the kindness, all of that. Share it with them. Now, I'll tell you a story. Today's show is going to be very short because apart from everything else, today, apart from all of the mayhem in America, which will affect all of us, and apart from all of the things that are happening regarding COVID, vaccines, this, that, and the other, this morning, I had a message saying, somebody I worked with, a colleague, a very kind and gentle man, who was so lovely and was so helpful. The chair that I'm sitting on today, he brought it to my house, has passed away. The shock I went through this morning, I'm telling you, I just cannot express it, because I was in a meeting and this WhatsApp message came, and the people were chatting. So I kind of just glanced down and saw it. And the shock and the despair and the sadness that I felt. So today has been a very strange day. And it made me think of many things. And it made me realize also that we do not know tomorrow. We don't. And because we don't know tomorrow, why do we rush? Why do we get impatient? Why do we scream when things don't go well? I'm going to tell you a story. Now, this story is about a man called Mr. Peter. Mr. Peter had a job interview, and Mr. Peter's job interview was at 10 o'clock. They woke up in the morning, and just before he would go for this interview, his wife had complications and he had to rush her to the hospital. So, on the way to the hospital, the taxi broke down. So, by the time they got to the hospital, his job interview was at 10 o'clock. By the time they got to the hospital, it was 10:30. By the time he settled his wife, spoke to the doctors, they admitted her, he got back into that same taxi and got to the interview door. It was 12 o'clock. He was 2 hours late. He pressed the doorbell and the secretary came and met him at the door. As he was about to apologize for being 2 hours late, the secretary said, "Oh, it's okay. Come in. We're all waiting for you." And they went in. They got into the interview room. He was about to apologize again. They said, "Oh, we're so sorry that we kept you outside waiting." And he didn't understand what they were saying. But unbeknownst to him, at 10 o'clock, the postman had pressed the bell and waited for a while. They didn't open him, so he went away. So then the CEO of the company said to him, "Oh, Mr. Peter, you know what? We really must apologize. It's our fault. But so many things happened this morning. And as we were deliberating and getting all ready, we heard the doorbell, but we couldn't come down. So we're sorry to have kept you outside, but thank you for waiting for 2 hours. And it's okay, you've got the job because you were patient. And in any case, we had looked at all the list of interviewees and you were the best man for the job. So the secretary will show you your office, etc., etc., and you can sign these papers and you're ready to go." Mr. Peters was a little bit confused by all of this, but he was really happy that he got the job. He'd been looking for a job for a few years and he'd been through all sorts of situations. Anyway, he was shown his room. He was told to come, start work the next Monday, blah, blah, blah. He was very grateful. On his way home, he had a phone call from his wife. And she said, "Oh, honey, I've had a baby." Now, she'd had a baby boy because they'd had 4 girls, and this was the last try. And he called that baby Miracle. So he was patient enough to take the wife to the hospital, wait for her to be settled in, left, went for his interview, was late, but he was calm all through. And the universe worked in his favor. It could be God. It could be the angels. It could be it could be anything. Whatever it was, for him, it could be Allah. It could be anybody. The truth of the matter is, his patience had seen him through. Now, the reason why I told you this story is 2 things. One, if you are on a path, if you are determined for something, don't give up. If you are on your path and during that time, other impediments come in your way, be patient. Because it is only the determined, patient one who wins that race. It also brings you to the hare and tortoise. Now, the hare was a very happy, fast running, hopping hare. It was running everywhere and felt that he would run the race. He lost. It was the tortoise, the slow tortoise, who won because of his determination and his patience. Now, my thing, which is something that I'm always working on, is patience. And my thing, which I'm always working on, is determination. I am determined for certain things. And I am like the tortoise. I am very slow. But I will get there. And I know that I will get there. It is that made me want to share Mr. Peter's story with you. Because in life, nothing is straight. There is no way on earth that there is anyone who can tell me that they have worked their way in a straight line and got to where they want in the time that they want. It doesn't happen. Most times, things will happen. I wanted to do things. I had plans I had definite plans with my mother. She died. I had all sorts of things, but anyway, all of those plans come. And when they did happen, I remembered my mother. I remembered the things she told me. I remembered the advice she gave me. But you see, it was all higgledy-piggledy at certain points. There were times when I would have thought that I would stop because I couldn't take it anymore. Now, that is the thing about life. Right now, there are terrible things happening. There is so much uncertainty. There is strife. There is strife in health. There is strife everywhere. However, we must be determined to come out of it, to come out on the other side. When I think of people that I know who have been good, who have been kind, who have passed away, it can weaken your resolve. It can disturb you. It can stop you. It can remove all hope from you. But I tell you something. Everyone has their life path. And we must have ours. If we are alive today, there is a reason for it. We may not know why, but there is a reason for it. So, my people, today is going to be a short show, and it's not anything that I wanted to talk today. Everything I've said to you today is not what I prepared. Everything that I have said today is because of what has happened today. And I want you all to believe that there is hope. And that even in sadness, there is hope. Because even when someone dies, tomorrow we will laugh at a joke. All I want you to do for me and anyone else who will listen or is listening is to believe that there is hope and to not stop whatever they're doing because of sadness or fear. No. Let us keep moving. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I thank you all for listening to me today. I thank you all for staying the course. I thank you all for your comments that I haven't looked at yet, but I will. And I hope next week we will come and hope. Keeping hope alive is the main thing. But next week we shall come and we shall be in a better place. and we may have something to laugh about, giggle about, talk about. And I wish you all well because we are in terrible times. But I wish you well. Happy New Year and love to you all. Be well. Bye bye.